Hey everybody, Psychosaurus is here. Welcome back to Age of Empires Online. And today, well, we got an update and we got the new quest pack finally out. Yay! Unfortunately, it was Easter and I was gone, so sorry for the delay. But, well, here we are. We got a lot of changes coming in, but let's get first into the block. And goddamn, let's talk about the new content. So, better for Kalinga. Okay, so yeah, we got a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna read through it. I will put everything into the description as usual, so you can check those links for yourself. But anyway, so first of all, we got a new quest pack. How do you access it? Marcus Pollux, here you go. First of all, you need to be level 35. That's the minimum. Now, I already went through the quest, okay? I did go through the quest. I tried the legendary ones, and I'll be honest, I'll just skip the quest line, the main quest line, and just skip straight to the legendary quest because they are absolutely the same quest but just different variants. And to be honest, the quest line is quite boring. Like the first quest was fine, but like then the following 3 or 4 quests, man, that was so boring. Oh my god, I was so bored during those. So I'll just straight up skip to the legendary quests, and yeah, you will enjoy those, I believe so. But anyway, we got also the trailer here for it, quest spotlight. So yeah, this is one of those quests where you got this war elephant, actually hero units. There's a lot of hero units, and I was actually surprised to see some interesting things happening during those quests. But who knows what I will talk about in those quests, but you'll see. Anyway, just remember, you have the main quest line. Once you complete it, you will get access to the repeatable, elite, and legendary versions of those. Obviously, you have global quests for each of those variants, where you will get extra rewards. Most important, you will get a new item after completing all the legendary variants. And after completing this one, you'll also get access to the free 5-star legendary quest. I already was talking about it in some previous blog, okay, just remember that. Here are the quest givers, just so you know. Obviously, we have the repeatable and elite versions at this guy. We have the campaign and legendary right here, and then there are also the champion quests as well, and also some mini games. I haven't seen those yet, except I did check one. Okay, I did check one. So we'll definitely take a look at those as well. But anyway, we have a new item, obviously, after completing all those legendary quests, which is the Devi's Royal Silken Tunic. And this one is straight up for villagers, as you can see. So it gives health, pretty standard amount for those gathering cloth armors that are typical for villagers, such as the collector and the Roman toga. So this one gives you a good amount of health, and then it gives gathering food 5.3%, gathering wood 5.3%, gathering gold 10.2%, and gathering stone 10.2%. Now you have to remember, this is a quest reward, so these stats are absolute. This is what you will get, and you will get only one. Now I would say keep this definitely. You definitely want to get this one for your villagers as an option at least. But anyway, what do I think about this item? I would say it's pretty okay item, as it gives like all those gather rates, but it's not like, I think the most important would be the food and wood, as those you really need a lot. While this one is focusing more on the gold and stone, but it gives food and wood as well. So I would say if you need a lot more food, then the Tunic of Collector is obviously the better choice. If you need a lot more wood, then the Roman Toga from OS is a lot better choice. But if you don't care and you just want a lot of resources, then this item is just ideal. I think if you don't already have those other two, then this is ideal for you. You just get this one, you can use it, it's there, enjoy it. I think it's a pretty good item, okay? So it is a good option, and if you're using your villagers for stone mining, gold mining, which I definitely do for some stone mining and sometimes even the gold mining. So I would say it's very useful cloth armor. I might even say it could be the best cloth armor for your villagers. Which, I'll be honest, I'm kind of sad that it might be, but well, it depends. It's all up to you. Obviously, if you just focus on the caravans, then you might not even worry about this one too much and just train a lot of caravans to generate a lot of gold, and then you buy the stone, which you might not need that much, but hey, you never know. So yeah, it's a pretty good item, so I definitely suggest getting it for all of your villagers. Now, of course, Indian gather elephants are here as well. Now, this one depends. If you prefer your Indian gather elephants to be more specialized into like one resource, for example, I have them specialized for the wood. So I make them gather a lot of wood, and my villagers are gathering the food, stone, and then I have caravans to generate gold. Then yeah, I would have like the collector on the villagers and then the Roman toga on the elephant gatherer. But in my case, I would put this on my villager because I use them all more resources than just the wood, while the gather elephant would just be focused on the wood. So yeah, that would be my strategy, okay? But if you wanna, you can obviously put it on the gather elephant as well. Just remember to put it on multiple resources and not just, let's say, wood, because then yeah, why do you have this when you could have the Roman toga or the epic version as well? Anyway, more quests, spotlights. Yeah, there's one quest spotlight. Why is it like this? Whatever. So more quest spotlights. There's this one, which is the first quest where you'll be fighting with a lot of monkeys, which I think it's, after trying this one, I would say this is pretty good quest. For a 1-star, it's pretty fun, pretty interesting, although I would appreciate it being a little bit more challenging, to be honest, as fighting with the monkeys is not that hard, but who knows. And yeah, then we have some 3 stars, 2 stars, 4 stars, some mini games, and then obviously the 5 stars, which probably the most interesting one is gonna be this one for me, as this one actually has some big fortresses too. Those will be really fun to destroy. I just took a peek at those, and yeah, it's gonna be fun destroying those. That's all I'm gonna say. So I'll be honest, I tried all those legendary versions, and there was like only one quest which I did not really enjoy, maybe because I did not figure out the strategy yet, but goddamn, I hated that one. And just so you know, I was trying it as Celts, okay? So maybe I just did not figure out the right strategy, maybe the quest is just that stupid, I don't know. I'll try to figure out better strategy, but who knows. I just feel like the quest is stupid, to be honest. And I'm just gonna say it straight out loud because goddamn, it was so annoying to deal with that one. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so those fortresses are gonna be very interesting, and I'm definitely looking forward to trying that quest. We have some decorations. We have monkeys that you can find around the quest. So basically, as you have the 9 different quests, in each quest you need to find the monkey that are, I would say, well hidden. I was not really trying to look for those, as I don't really care about the monkeys, but yeah, if you wanna get some free monkeys from a quest, yeah, you just accept the quest, and then hey, you can look for those monkeys, and they are hidden somewhere around the map, so you will need to take a close look and make sure you check every corner to see if the monkey is not there. But yeah, if you feel like, hey, you missed the monkey, don't worry, it does not have to spawn every single time, okay? But now let's move on to the most interesting part of this block, which are the new items. Finally, we got the new stats. And I would say, of all of these, there are like 2 items that I would question, okay? But anyway, first we got the Jagannatha's Gem-Bound Gorget, which is similar to the, what is it called? I think it's Raz Gembound Gorget or something like that. It's the light armor that gives a lot of armor. But that's it. This one is basically the same thing, but it's slightly different because this one, as you can see, gives melee cavalry armor a lot, like 185.3%, which is a lot. Then it gives melee infantry armor 22.5%, and then bonus damage protection 21.9%. So as you can see, this one is like heavily specialized against cavalry. Now, as I said, it is similar to the Raz Gemmed Gorget, but that one is different as that one gives a lot of infantry armor and then some amount of cavalry armor, so it's slightly different. That one is focused against infantry. This one, as you can see, is focused against cavalry. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not really sure where I would want to put it. There's probably like one single unit that comes to my mind where I would be like, yeah, that's a good idea to put it there, as I can use, let's say, some healer to actually heal that unit, and that would be the Indian Juggernaut. That's probably the only unit that I can think of where I would put this, as Juggernauts already have huge infantry armor, they already have huge pierce armor. The only thing they lack is the cavalry armor. So why not put this one there? They already have really good health, and then I can pick Gurus, pick the legendary advisor, and put it together, and suddenly, whoo! Yeah, those Juggernauts are not dying. And remember, there's also the bonus damage protection, which is huge. God damn it. Plus, you also have to choose one tech, which grants additional bonus damage protection. And then you have the Norse milestone that grants additional bonus damage protection. Damn, those Juggernauts will just not die. Oh my god. Yeah, I'll be honest, I want to get this one for the Juggernauts. Other than that, I have no idea where I would want this. Because I'm like, where? Where could this go? Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe Cataphracts? But why would I want it on Cataphract? It doesn't make sense. If I wanted to counter cavalry, I would just train some mounted archers. But oh well, if I want my Cataphracts to survive, maybe that could be an option. Similarly, it could be the Lancers, but Lancers don't have that huge health, so I don't think Lancers would be that good. Maybe something heavier. I mean, probably Hippocans could be an option, but at the same time, I'm like, they don't have that high health with already high armor, so doesn't make sense to me. I'm not really sure where else I would want it, but like I said, Juggernauts make a lot of sense to me. Maybe I would put it on Cataphracts, and after that, I have no idea what you want for me to do with this. Maybe elephants? Could it be like the Egyptian elephants? Put it together with the priestess? Would that work? Maybe? I feel like it would be weak against infantry at that point. Like, pierce damage is not the problem. Bonus damage protection helps. The infantry armor helps. Cavalry armor would be huge. Put it together with the priestess of Ram. Maybe I would say there. Like, I could think of like also the, I don't know, like Decurion or some other cavalry unit for Romans, because you have the Clinicus there, but then like which cavalry unit would survive the infantry damage? That's a question. Maybe you could probably make quite beefy Decurions, put them together with Clinicus. That could be interesting actually. If you put this Gorgon on Decurion, then get the infantry armor, shield, and sword. Put it together with Clinicus. Decurions are already naturally beefy units because they get good bonus damage protection. They get really high pierce armor. That could be an option actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. That could be interesting. Okay, so yeah, I would say Juggernauts, Decurions make sense. I guess Cataphracts could be an option, but I'm not really sure about that one. But yeah, Decurions Juggernauts make sense, as you can put those two together with healers and then just give them a lot of armor. I guess it would make sense. Anyway, whatever, if you want this, hey, make sure to farm those quests because these items are droppable from chests. So yeah, good luck hunting. Anyway, another one, the Kalinga construction blueprints. This one gives health 7.9% and maximum range 6.2%. Just remember, these are droppable, so the stats can scale, okay? So it can be higher, can be lower. But anyway, these blueprints, I'll be honest, I'm not sure I would consider these blueprints anywhere. Like, yeah, you could probably drop it, put it on your towers, maybe fortress, although I feel like the Delian blueprints are better option as you build those faster. At least the fortress definitely feels better. For towers, I guess you could put this on tower before you get the piercing frost blueprints, as those are really strong. Like, I don't know, I don't think you really need that huge range. Like, you already get, like, if you put the Master Hunter bow, I don't know, the whatever arrows with range and 2 other stats you put on your towers, that should be enough, and you should be easily getting 40 range. So I don't see a reason to put like this on towers just so I get what, like 2-3 range, when I can just pick Darius H4 like for extra range if I wanted to. I just don't see a reason to pick this. But hey, if you want this, towers are an option. Fortresses probably as well, but I don't see a reason to put this on fortress. I would rather build the fortress faster because goddamn, it takes forever to build it. But whatever, towers, if you want it, I don't really care too much about it. Next item, imbalanced nets. Cost minus 20.5%, training time minus 20.5%, food conservation plus 30.1%. Now I'll be honest, I was looking at this, I was like, is this like the best nets right now, or am I crazy? Now, it could be a really strong net if you can get it and put it together with Finbar and just train a lot of fishing boats. So those quests where you get a lot of fishing spots, like for example, what's it called? Euphrates. I would say that quest where you get a lot of fishing spots behind, this could be an option as you want to train a lot of fishing boats. So the cost would make sense. Put it together with Finbar. You save a lot of wood on your fishing boats, and so you can keep the production. Plus you train them faster. Remember, fishing boats take quite a while to produce. So yeah, the training time is there as well. And then as you have a lot of fishing spots there, as you get the food conservation, it will be slower for the fishing boats to fish from further fishing spots. What I mean, that the closer fishing spots will actually last longer. Now you have to remember, if you use this and you also have Finbar, yeah, that's a lot of food you're getting from that one single fishing spot. And now you don't have to go too far away from the dock. So hey, short distance traveling, very nice for you. And that's why I feel like it feels kind of strong. But at the same time, the price is your fishing boats are not that efficient at gathering, because remember, this one does not give gather rates for your fishing boats, and that could be a problem, because if you need the food faster, I guess you get the numbers of fishing boats faster. That should help. So I guess that could be the thing I don't like about this net, and that's the training time. Like, I have an understanding for the cost. I think that's fine because we already got like lower variant of the nets that grant a lot of discount, and those are even uncommon item. That's actually funny. That's an uncommon item that grants you a lot of discount. Like I think it goes like 17%. It goes, I think it's level like 25, something around that. And you don't get nets like that after that. So yeah, I think this part is pretty okay with me. I think this is pretty good. I'm not against it. I think this is fine. I feel like the training time should not be that high, especially when we already have the summer event rudder that already lowers the cost, the training time. Like, can you imagine putting that rudder with the imbalanced nets and then you use finbar? Oh my god, those fishing boats, really cheap. You train them really fast. Like, Jesus. I think these nets are mainly about the wood, the discount, so you save a lot of early and you can invest it somewhere else. And then, like, over time, I would say it helps you with the gather rate thanks to the conservation, so your fishing boats don't have to go too far away from your docks. So it helps you with lowering the traveling the distance, but at the same time, yeah, they're not gathering that fast. So you need the amount, which means you need to sacrifice the population to actually get the same effect as with lower number of fishing boats if you had the gather rates on them. So it's a price to pay. But at the same time, I feel like the training time should go down, like down to like 10%, maybe even lower, I don't know, because I feel like it feels too easy to spam those fishing boats suddenly. And so, like, getting the high numbers shouldn't be the problem. Like, minus 20%, that's a lot of time saved. Like, come on, 30 seconds, you save 6 seconds just because you have these nets. Oof. That's a lot of time saved. Yeah, anyway, if you want this, I think it's okay to use. Just remember, you save some wood early, you get those fishing boats out fast, they don't have to travel those long distances for the further fishing spots. So hey, you save some time for them to gather by not having those long travel distances. So yeah, I would say it's okay, but I feel like it's a little bit too strong. And yeah, I would just lower the training time. I think this is the one item that I would lower the training time. I think it should go down, to be honest. But anyway, moving on. We have Ram of the Dutas. I don't know, what is this? Dutas. Whatever. Health plus 68.2%, cost minus 10.3%. So, this is a legendary version of, I think it's called Ramhead of the Furies or something like that. I think it's something like that. So, in all honesty, I think this is fine. If you want your battering rams to have a lot of health just so they soak a lot of damage, I think this is fine. It could be like alternative to what I do. Like, I pick the Ramhead of Knum and then just go full health, so the rams last longer. And the cost is definitely a nice buff for your battering rams. I know the cost has already been reduced for all battering rams, because goddamn they were expensive, and now it's definitely a lot more affordable. But obviously, if you can go even lower, I think that's good. That's good. But anyway, you could probably build some really beefy battering rams, and I'm thinking like, I think if you put this on the Greek and just full health, like all of this on Greek battering ram, you could probably get over 2000 health. And if you use like the, what's his name, Titus, I think, the battering ram guy advisor in H3, yeah, you could have some really beefy battering rams. My only issue is the lack of damage is there. That's like the only thing I have complaining about this. But maybe I could switch the gears a little bit and put like Typhon instead on the battering rams. Who knows? yeah, probably you have options, okay? You could go more health, you could go more health with some damage, or you could just go like what I do, like strong damage from the Ramhead and then just health, whatever. But yeah, I think this is okay. I think this is okay. Like I think for what battering rams, I like whatever we can get, so it can kind of give some like motivation to use them more, to try them out more. So in my opinion, yeah, I'm okay with this. And just so you remember, all stats subject to change balancing. So yeah, I hope that I think the nets should be going a little bit down, but that's my opinion right now. I haven't seen them, I don't have them, so yeah, I cannot tell right now. But anyway, there's an item which I think is gonna go down real hard. God damn it. So if you've watched my previous video about the crit damage stat, yeah, this is the first item in the game that actually has the crit damage. Gajan Draja's Sacred Blade. Damage plus 41.2%, critical hit chance plus 10.8%, crit damage bonus plus 50.1%. And if you remember what I was talking about, yeah, this is one of those sort suggestions for the stats that I was talking about. And I'll be honest, I feel like this is the worst option. I feel like I would rather appreciate the other one, which would give more crit chance but less crit damage, just so it wouldn't be so strong. But anyway, this sort already calculated, yeah, it's over 70% damage, and that's just the average one, okay? The average stats that you see here on the screen. These stats obviously can go even higher. And that's why I feel like, oh my god, how much higher could this go? I haven't checked that, okay? I should do the calculations. Goddamn, if I can get maximum sort like this, how much damage would I be actually getting? And that's the thing. I'm saying like 70% damage, but that's just from the stats that you see here on the sword. It does not include the crit chances from other modifiers. And that's why I see the problem with these stats. God dang it. The value of this sword can go much higher, because you could put this on, let's say, Hippocans, and then you use H4 Solon for extra 20% crit chance. You can use Garshasp for extra 8% crit chance. And then you can have Rostam for another 2% crit chance. And suddenly, hey, you're at 50% crit chance. I think it's close. I don't know. I haven't checked that out. But maybe, hey, if you want to check it out in the unit stats and see how high the crit chance would actually go there. Whew. Yeah, try that. And then tell me how much damage would that be. A lot. I'm telling you, that would be a lot of damage. Just remember 50%. That doubles the value of damage from the crit chance, okay? So if I would get the 50% crit chance and I have the 50% crit damage, that means, hey, my crit chance suddenly is adding 100% damage on average. Like, goddamn, what the hell? That's a lot of damage. That's too much in my opinion. It's just too much if you ask me. Yeah, this sword needs to go down. I'm not joking. Like, just the damage and the crit chance is on the same level as the craftable, the Skatach sword that gives some damage and a lot of crit chance. It's basically the total damage is just on the same level, and then you add the crit damage bonus, and I'm like, Jesus, this damage, that's just insane in my opinion. Yeah, these numbers need to go down. Come on, 70%. Like, yeah, Tiberius gives a lot of stats, and I feel like that should go down, like at least the damage and a little bit of health. But goddamn, this, oof. Like, seriously, if I can get handled on this blade, I'm just gonna put it on the Hippocans and just see what happens. Because I already have the Garshasp there, I have Rostam there. Just Solon, and let's see what happens. I just want to see that in action. Oh my god, that has to be brutal. But yeah, I mentioned Hippocans. Can you imagine? Raiders exist. They also get their advisor, and that one gives a lot of stats. Again, who would have thought like putting a lot of stats on a single unit that would make it strong, right? Now we're gonna make it even stronger. Oh boy, that I feel like that's a bad joke, yeah, but unfortunately it's the reality. But anyway, yeah, so Hippocans, Raiders, that's why I would suggest putting this blade. Now there could be some other units. Now you might be thinking of like Immortals, for example, but I have a bad news. I'll be going through the patch notes for this quest pack that came with it. Okay, so I'll explain that why not Immortals, but hey, maybe if you put like the Brenos arrows on Immortals to get like 20% crit chance, and then add maybe this summer event medium armor, you could get over 30% crit chance. Can you imagine those ranged attacks doing... Whew, that could hurt actually. I would like to see that as well. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, there are definitely options. Probably not as good as Hippocans and Raiders, but yeah, that's an option. Other than that, I think Legionaries could be an interesting option, as those get the charge attack. So hey, if they charge and they crit, that's gonna hurt. That's a lot of pain that could happen suddenly. And remember, they get Caesar with them as well, the advisor. Oh boy, yeah, put it all together. God damn it, all the damage, all of it. That's what we need. But other than that, I think Centurions, I was actually taking a look. I remember there was a Javelin that gives a lot of crit chance. Yes, you could probably make Centurions with a lot of crit damage. Oof, just imagine. The world of pain. Oh my god. Like that unit hurts already. Can you imagine doing a lot of crits suddenly? Yeah. And on the Javelin throw. Ew. That's gonna be nasty. Just the imagination, like throwing the javelin against a siege unit, and suddenly the unit is dead because of one single crit. Like, yeah. Just the image of that. Anyway, I'm thinking, who else could it be? Like, you could probably try to put together some crit chances, but I'm afraid you will not really get those high values there. So, as I said, Hippocans, Raiders, as you can get a lot of crit chance on those two units. Immortals, as you can put the arrows there. I think Legionaries because the charge attack. Centurions because you can put a lot of crit damage on them, and the ranged attack could hurt a lot. Oof. Is there anything else? Any other unit? I don't think there's any other unit that could come to my mind right now. So yeah, that would be it, okay? That's how I see it. I think those are the best options that I can come up with right now. I'm thinking... Yeah, I don't think I can come up with anything else right now, but yeah, those are like coming up right now. So yeah, if you can get the sword, yeah, try it on those units and see how strong it is. Anyway, so yeah, the critical hit damage, as you can see, highly synergistic with... Now the thing is, we don't have any other crit damage item yet, but we have like the Ambiorix. As I said last time, his wording was supposed to change, and it did, so that's part of the patch notes there. But yeah, Celtic ranged units with the crit torque, yeah, Ambiorix, it's there. Anyway, yeah, there's Bran. He gives a lot of crit chance. Now we just need the item for the Woe Traders, and yeah, those could hurt a lot because they get the charge attack as well. Now the good thing is that the splash damage does not do extra crit damage, but the main target will take it. So yeah, it might not be the best, but hey, because they get the charge attack, it could hurt a lot. A lot of pain. But anyway, okay, questline development. New UI, as you can see, you get the crit chance. Finally, you can see it in the stats. and then also the crit damage bonus. Now I have a little bit of problem because it just shows the bonus, so plus 50%, and not the actual total value, where you would have the 200% base, which you would not see, but then you get the stat increase and it would show you the 300%. That's just how I see it, yeah. But anyway, UI updates. Okay, this one I was a little bit. I was looking at it and I'm like, one way I understand, the other way I'm like, man, this is ugly. I'll be honest. I look at it and I'm like, man, this just does not look good. It does not have the style anymore. Come on. So basically, UI updates, garrison and inventory item number readability improvements. As you can see like, hey, you look at this number, you look at this. Yeah, it could be like a little bit harder to read. I understand that. But man, it has some style shadow like beneath the number. Now, when you take a look at this is the new one. You have the number and it just has the outline. And I'm like, man, it just does not look that good. Like, yeah, it's readable, but at the same time, minus style points. Like, plus points on the readability, minus on the style points. God damn. I just don't like it, okay? It just looks weird to me. Okay, this one, UI updates, unavailable item overlay and tooltip improvements. So if you remember, if you had an item that you couldn't use, it would be like fully red. You couldn't tell whether it would be uncommon, rare, or legendary. You would have to hover your cursor over it, over the icon, just to see what it is. So now, hey, you can actually see the colors, as you can see, but if you cannot use it, it's a little bit more red. You can see the red overlay over there. So these are usable and these are not usable. You can see there's red overlay. Looks a little bit different, a little bit like darker. More into red, yeah. That's it. UI updates, age up information on tech tree. Yeah, so this one, if you haven't noticed, in the tech tree, on the side, you can see actually the icons for the ages. You can now hover over it and see the details. So if you're playing as, let's say, Greeks, then you will see this. If you're playing as the Egyptian, you will see this. Okay, Celts, you'll see this. Babylon, you'll see this. And yeah, that's all from this block. Okay, so if you ask me, there's some good changes, some good items. I feel this is questionable, like the imbalanced nets. I am not really sure if it's really too much or not, but I feel like it's too much, and I would just reduce the training time, because it just feels like a lot of stats put together on the fishing nets, and it just does not feel right. Maybe even the cost could go down, to be honest. Like, yeah, you get these, but then you get the food conservation, or just remove the training time and keep the cost and food conservation. Like, yeah, that's just my opinion, whatever. And yeah, the sword is definitely too strong. It's 100% too strong. I swear, if I get my hands on it, I'll just make a video with the full crit Hippocans or Raiders, wherever I drop it, and just obliterate some stuff, okay? But yeah, monkeys, hey, decorations. Just so you know, you don't have to complete this quest to get the monkeys. You can buy the monkeys decorations from the Rome, the same store as you buy the sheep. But at the same time, yeah, it's quite expensive. It costs a lot of coins. So yeah, don't try that unless you are rich and overflowing with coins and want a lot of monkeys. But anyway, yeah, that's all from this block. I think this is nice. Nice extra. But yeah, I'll leave this in the description so you can check it out for yourself. Moving on, the patch notes. So yeah, that was the first one with the new quest pack released. So let's go over this. Balance changes. Pashotan's strength, Commander Esfandir's first upgrade, now grants plus 50% melee attack damage instead of plus 50% melee critical hit chance. Now this one, I believe, is part of one other change for a reason. So I'll skip a little bit ahead but to explain it. But basically, when you have an item with critical hit chance, it actually grants two separate stats. One is for melee critical hit chance, the other one is for ranged critical hit chance. Now, long time ago, these two values would be actually two separate values. So if you would see, like, let's say Gar's Hasp with a crit chance, that would mean, hey, you could get crit chance on this one, like let's say the melee, but you would get different value, which could be like, hey, you could get like maximum Gar's Hasp, which would have actually minimum range crit chance, and you wouldn't even know. Okay, so after some time, this was actually unified, so it's the same value, and now basically it is being like changed from my understanding, and now it's just gonna be one single stat, so it works with the critical hit damage bonus, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was something like that, but maybe I'm skipping too far, maybe I'm wrong about this, so don't call me on that, but yeah, I think it was something like that. And yeah, the melee crit chance now is being reworked to 50% attack damage for melee attacks for the Immortals, which changes from, hey, you have a chance to deal extra damage, to, hey, you have a guaranteed extra damage on melee attacks. So yeah, it's different, but at the same time, yeah, it's pretty much the same. And I would say this is a little bit better because it's guaranteed. But yeah, moving on. Ambiorix the Brave now grants plus 50, 40, 30, 20% additional critical hit damage bonus instead of setting it to a flat value of 3, 2.8, 2.6, 2.4. Yeah, so this is just the description change. So yeah, Ambiorix is doing the same thing. It's just the description, the tooltip change, and that's it. Okay. Next one, Sparta PvP updates, whatever, new maps. Quest updates. Invasion of Aegitna added one additional fortress to the quest to prevent rare cases of the Destroy Fortress objective not getting completed. Destroying this fortress is completely optional, as it is one more than the maximum number of destroyed fortresses that are required to complete the quest objective. Yeah, there is still some issue where the objective does not count. Like, for example, you destroy fortress, it does not count. This one actually happened to me once, which was like so long ago, when I would destroy 3 town centers and one wouldn't count for me for some reason. I don't know, like, why it's happening. It could be something like, hey, the unit died that actually delivered the finishing blow. It could die and suddenly, hey, it wouldn't count. So that could be possible. Although in my case, I was like, man, that was a melee unit. How did it happen then? Who knows? But yeah, there are some rare cases where this happens. So this is just making sure that, I would say, not making sure, but rather drastically reducing the chance of this occurring. So in my opinion, yeah, good change. I don't know where the fortress is though. So yeah, look out for extra fortress. Nothing. Then we have the UI updates. Britannia world map updated to better reflect Londinium's historical location. Several quest markers moved to accommodate for this change. So some small change for this. Critical hit chance and critical hit damage bonus multiplier stats are now displayed on units and buildings hover over tooltips. That's what we were talking about just a second ago. So that's what it is. Adjusted font settings for garrison units and inventory items for better readability. Yeah, this one I hate. It looks ugly in my opinion, but yeah, at least it's readable. Adjusted the unavailable overlay on inventory items such as gear that cannot be equipped on your current civilization for better readability. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's the That's the red color. Yeah, that's the one. Added information regarding each civilization's age job mechanic in the in-game tech tree. Translations pending for languages other than Spanish. Updated the tooltip on Commander Esfandia to indicate the free upgrade choices he provides. Yeah, that should be just so you know for sure what's going on with this advisor. But yeah, just some nice changes, hopefully, except one. But yeah. Bug fixes, fixed an issue where the quest Battle for Timbra, despite the incorrect quest text, fixed an issue where the quest Stolen Roman Gauntlets incorrectly benefited from the quest rotation system. Yeah. Yeah, they should not have those, but yeah. Some nice bug fixes. Other updates. New gear effect type added. Critical hit damage bonus. This means that when the unit does critical damage, it will do more damage on its critical hit compared to the usual 2.0 times damage. For example, if a unit has plus 25% critical hit damage bonus, it will do 2.0 times 1.25, which is 2.5 times more damage. As I was saying, the value of the crit damage is actually doubled. Because it's including the base 100% damage as well. Club Monkey from India. Oh, by the way, if you want to know more about the critical hit damage, how it works, calculations, yeah, make sure to check out my previous video about it. Club Monkey from India and Fire Monkey from India added to the Rome construction store. Those are the decorations, as I was saying, they are there. Indian Baluster and Flagpole added to Vanity Island. More decorations for you to play with. One new questline completion reward gear added. Devi's Royal Silken Tunic. Yes, that's the item for legendary quest completed. 5 new items added to the loot tables. Those 5. We were talking about those. Items that grant critical hit chance now affect every attack type of the unit they are equipped with. For example, the Persian Immortal gets additional critical hit chance for both its ranged and melee attacks when equipped with Brenno's barbed arrows. This is the change I was talking about. Yes, so you get like 1 critical hit chance instead of like 2 separate ones. Or maybe it was just making sure, hey, you don't get like 1 critical hit chance and not the other one, so it does not get confused, something like that. Whatever, but yeah, think about it that there's only 1 critical hit chance now that affects both attacks, and that's it. So yeah, that's all from this patch notes, and I want to end this soon, but there was one more. Just remember, link in the description below if you want to go through this. There was one fast hot fixes. Lots of juggernauts. This is one of those mini games. Added 2 additional juggernauts to the quest to ensure objective completion. Yeah, I guess something was failing. Whatever. I'll be honest, how is lots of rogues doing it that they always complete? Maybe because of the high numbers? Whatever. Maybe something technical. Anyway, bug fixes. Fixed an issue where several items incorrectly show critical hit chance in their tooltip multiple times. Fixed an exploit in a quest Amarakantaka Hills. I don't know about that. Fixed several incorrect quest strings for the Bala and Friends global quest. Added missing icons for Indian balusters and Celtic Norse, Persian and Indian pillars. Added several missing translations for non-English versions of the game. And that's that. Okay. Again, I'll put this in the link in description. I'll put this link in the description below. Okay, so you can check it out for yourself. But anyway, a lot of changes. Make sure to enjoy the new content. Make sure to get the new items. Whatever you want, whatever you need. And yeah, try to enjoy it. But I feel like some of these quests are just not enjoyable enough for me. No matter how I look at it. But anyway, yeah, make sure to enjoy this quest. Play a lot. Have fun. And yeah, try to experiment with the new stat. Maybe you'll discover something very interesting. And I'll be honest, after playing these quests, I actually discovered something interesting as well. So yeah, we could probably make some speech. Some special video like what I've discovered by playing against Indians. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, make sure to press the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. yeah, leave a comment. What do you think about these changes, the new quest pack, the new items, if you already got the chance to try them out. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.